Hello everyone. In today's video, we will continue from where we left last time. Here we discuss the Quad's future roadmap in the Indo-Pacific and what are its policy areas to work in. Since the inception of the grouping in 2004, its focus revolved around disaster relief, maritime security, infrastructure development, and upholding rules based order in the Indo Pacific. However, with the evolving nature of the geopolitics in the region, calls for the reassessment of the partnership's scope and principal objectives by expanding its focus from traditional bilateral partnership to the multifaceted approach of new challenges and ensuring inclusive growth and development in the Indo Pacific. In the last video, we examined the Quad's leaders level working groups, which are specialized in their domain from health, climate, and infrastructure to critical technologies, cybersecurity, and space cooperation. Now, we will delve into the additional areas of interest which are not mentioned in the last video. There are 5 main policy areas for the Quad to add in their future roadmap, which includes: first, maritime security and domain awareness; second, counterterrorism; third, nuclear stability; fourth, critical minerals; fifth, sustainable, transparent, and fair lending and financial practices. Now, we will comprehensively discuss them all. Let's first start with the maritime security and domain awareness. While Quad is neither a military alliance nor a mutual defense agreement, still the maritime security is central to the partnership's mission of supporting free and open Indo-Pacific region. At the core of this cooperation is the joint naval exercise named Malabar. It was first conducted in 1992 in bilateral form between US and India, but later joined by Japan, Australia, and Singapore. Exercise Malabar was expanded its scope, size, and has effectively become synonymous with Quad. In recent times, this exercise has evolved into increasingly complex naval activities and integrated maritime operations, including submarine warfare, maritime patrol, and reconnaissance. It has deepened the cooperation among Quad countries and enhanced their collective defense struggle. All Quad members are deeply connected and concerned with their cooperation in the naval exercises, so they individually hosted such exercises time to time with their other partners in Southeast Asia and Pacific Islands. In the region with highly contested waters, the Quad have emphasized the maritime domain awareness as its fundamental requirement for peace and prosperity in the region. This initiative is launched in 2022 to enhance the information gathering capabilities on maritime activities by providing emerging technologies and training to regional partners in 3 critical regions. First, Pacific Islands; second, Southeast Asia; third, Indian Ocean region. For the domain awareness in the region, Quad focused on making fusion centers for information gathering and sharing to monitor activities in maritime zones such as illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, unmonitored or dark shipping, climate events, humanitarian crisis, marine conservation, etc. After that, in our journey towards future, the Quad have the second road for the counter-terrorism. Terrorism represents major security challenge for all the Quad countries because it not just threatens the security of their citizens but also brings instability in the region and broader global security architecture. As we all know, terrorism is not confined to borders, so the Quad recognize the need for collective approach in countering these transnational threats. All 4 countries are the part of Global Counterterrorism Forum and Financial Action Task Force. Quad in its 2019 meeting in New Delhi welcomed focused discussions of the counterterrorism policy, and later in 2023 also added it in the ministerial level working group and solidifying group's commitment to counter it. After these developments, the Quad hosted various tabletop exercises, information exchanges on terror threats, and their use of critical technologies. They also highlighted the need for comprehensive strategies that address not only the immediate threats but also the underlying factors contributing to radicalization and extremism in the Indo-Pacific. Quad knows the multifaceted nature of terrorism in the emerging world of technologies, so they tackle these challenges by fostering long term stability and reliance against propaganda and extremism by enhancing cyber capabilities to counter malicious use of digital or online platforms to spread extremism. They also focus on aid coordination, regional mechanized and emerging technologies to counter it. The third key policy area for Quad's future roadmap is nuclear stability. The Indo Pacific region is in the security dilemmas by increasing complexity and risks of nuclear escalation. There are multiple flashpoints in the region for nuclear escalation from various multiple nuclear capable states continue to operate, such as in Taiwan Strait, South China Sea, Korean Peninsula, and Indian Ocean region. If we are talking about nuclear stability, how can we forget the Pakistan and North Korea? Both are nuclear capable states which are irresponsible in managing nukes and always come up as a threat for humanity with their nuclear capabilities, which causes instability and security dilemma in the Indo-Pacific. Quad countries are individually tackling all these threats and fear-mongering to bring stability in the region. However, Quad still lacks mechanisms to assess and respond to nuclear risks as a partnership. To date, the Quad has mainly focused on nuclear issues concerning Korean Peninsula, as North Korea poses an immediate threat to South Korea, and it is considered as a global concern. Quad has collectively condemned these acts of North Korea and urged all UN members to not do weapon trade with the North Korea. In South Asia, the Quad may have to recognize the challenges posed by fragile nuclear dynamic in the region, especially considering the historical tensions between India and Pakistan. Quad's broader goal is to promote dialogue and confidence building measures in the Indo-Pacific to augment the nuclear stability and create an environment that reduces the risk of conflict, promotes transparency in the region. For the concerns of the future generation, their well-being and a crucial element of the national security concern is Quad's fourth policy area, critical minerals. Critical minerals are essential in the transition to low carbon future and in manufacturing next generation technology, including fiber optic cables, semiconductors, etc. Quad members have highlighted their importance and published the strategies and list of critical minerals. Currently, China accounts for 60% of global production and 85% of processing capacity of critical minerals, while US is 100% import dependent for 12 critical minerals. Australia, on the other hand, is a major supplier of raw material of $22.3 billion in the 2022. There is need of partnership and diversifying and safeguarding these highly concentrated supply chains, as it can be potential national security implication. So the Quad countries are partnering to diversifying the minerals portfolio and supply chain and establish the memorandum of cooperation between its export credit agencies to increase financing, trade promotion, and economic development of projects in areas of strategic interest, including critical minerals. The Indo-Pacific region is still a developing one with one of the most affected area by climate change, and there is a greater need for long and sustainable development. It can only be achieved by the sustainable, transparent, and fair lending and financing practices, which helps to fulfill above objectives. The Indo-Pacific region is witnessing a surge in infrastructure development projects over the past decade, with China emerging as a major player through its Belt and Road Initiative. However, concerns are about the asymmetry in China's lending practices, which often result in unsustainable debt burdens for the recipient countries. We also have seen several examples in recent times, such as Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Maldives, Laos, Djibouti, etc., which accounted for a total of $2.38 trillion in 2023 globally as a Chinese debt all over the world. As such, the Quad has an opportunity to fill this infrastructure gap, recognizing an urgent need for a paradigm shift towards sustainable, transparent, and fair lending and financing practices in the region. China's approach to lending have been criticized for lacking transparency, leading to hidden costs and unfavorable terms for borrowing countries. This could not just protect the sovereignty of country in the Indo-Pacific, but also ensure that infrastructure projects contribute to long-term economic development rather than create a debt trap. That's the end of the video from my side. Hope you find the video informative. Thank you for watching it.